Log into your account on code.org website, click on create to choose Frozen Lab. Once you get inside, you will find this functions block available on the toolbox. Go there. And before we start creating a new function, let's pick up the function block that already exists called create a snowflake. Click on the drop down arrow and you can choose any pattern, let's say parallelogram, and see what it does. Elsa has drawn a beautiful snowflake pattern using the basic shape of parallelogram. Probably this is the first time students are getting to know this term parallelogram, so talk about it a little more. This one petal from the snowflake is made of a geometric shape called parallelogram. It has 4 enclosed sides and it is pretty close to rectangle. The difference is that rectangle has the angles of 90 degrees in between all the sides, and in parallelogram these 4 sides are separated by the angles of 60 degrees and 120 degrees, then again 60 degrees and 120 degrees. Here the function already exists which draws a snowflake pattern using the shape of parallelogram. But what if we want to change the number of petals in it? How do we do that? There is not any option available to edit the function block. So why don't we start creating one of our own? And that's how you get the students to create a new function. Go to functions and click on create a function. You can name your function according to your choice. Let's say draw a diamond shape. Then you can talk about what you want that function to draw. Draw a parallelogram. This is not a mandatory field, it's just for our reference. Once you name your function, you have to also decide what you want that function to perform. So you add the number of tasks or the sequence of tasks or commands that you want your computer to perform when you call for that function. As we have discussed, drawing a parallelogram is pretty close to drawing a rectangle. The only difference is that in rectangle the angles are 90 degrees and in parallelogram the sides are separated by the angles of 60 degrees and 120 degrees. So this is the code that you want your function to perform when you call for that function using this name called draw a diamond shape. This is how you draw a parallelogram or a diamond shape. Now, once you name the function and you decide what that function needs to perform, you assign it a piece of code. You have to also call for that function in the main program to perform that particular task. So go to functions and you will see the new function block has been added here, the one that we have just created. Now call it in the main area by simply dragging and dropping it and placing it in the workspace, and let's hit run button and test it. Yes, Elsa has drawn a shape of diamond or a parallelogram and the function block works just the way we want it to. Now you can go and make beautiful snowflake patterns by changing the number of petals and creating as many designs as you want. Now, suppose we want to draw 4 petals in a snowflake. And if you change the angle here, let's see what happens. Tell the student that the degrees will always be the multiples of the number of petals that you would choose, and bring back the mathematics that they have learned before in the earlier class. Choose different numbers and play with it and make wonderful patterns.